Good lad.
And lover.
Hello, Matthew Stream. Everybody in here is an idiot. Race director.
It's a raining.
Kelly, what do you think of the Mexico Grand Prix, by the way?
Well, I was so excited I can't remember what happened. Boring. Boring.
Sao Paulo next week, innit? Interlagos.
Love Brazil. What a fucking amazing track.
Yeah. Best track on the calendar.
It is a great one. I'd love to be racing it.
Yeah. Best track on the calendar by fucking far.
I'm back. Matt, you fucking penis.
What are you on about?
What do you think?
I don't know, mate.
I don't know. Where's my book? Where's my notebook? Where's the fucking
THR
Star Wars
Racing
book?
League's commented again. Here to cheer on the legend Gary 131 and Peaceful Explosion. Oh. Nice of them to show their face again for pro, innit?
Who's that?
THR Racing League. Nice.
THR Racing, so that's you still fucking logged in, isn't it?
Oh, mate, I fucked him over and kept his... Mate, I set the YouTube channel up for the guy, so the minute he started being a dick, I was like, right, well, I'm changing your password. Unlucky. Do it now, motherfucker.
Where to?
Mike, here comes on, read it out to him.
What?
No, I've got to go to the loo, so I'll find you a pen. Turn that fucking telly down, man. It's so loud.
Right, guys, I'm switching chat. Good luck, everyone.
Jojo.
Bye.
See you later.
Yep. I'll see you in a minute, Mike.
I'll go start your party, boys. 2 seconds.
Best of luck, Dan.
Yeah. Ow.
Cheers, buddy.
Dickhead.
No tactics tonight. Yeah?
There's so much hate between the two of you on a fucking racetrack. You can hear the sarcasm between your voices. I love it.
Smith, there was no sarcasm last week. Clean, fair racing last week.
I love the Battle of the Goats.
Makes the programme more interesting, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, fucking right. It's like a Liverpool-Everton derby, isn't it?
Oh, fucking 100%. Kelly said it perfectly last week when he was watching. He said about good friends off the track, but the minute they're on the track, they hate each other.
Yeah, so it's got to be, isn't it?
You know.
I'm like that of Welshie, but he beat me every week. Right, I better join this pate. Good luck all.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. End of lap 3 to lap 10, is that correct?
Lap 3 to the end of lap 10, yes. Buddy.
Right. Same format?
Yep, same format as always, pal.
Right.
And I shall see you on the podium.
I'll see you on the podium.
Yes, you will. By the way, just like to point out, Dan ruined your night last night by saying I'll see you on the top step of the podium.
Yep, I got that. And as I said, I'm quite sure that I would have had 2 podiums last night. Fucking twat, innit?
Had Dan not said it?
Had Dan not said it? That's or that, or I had not fucked it all up by myself. But yeah.
Yeah, all that one. Yeah, either way. See you later, buddy.
All right, right on. Right, let's go. Okie dokie. Oh, God, again.
I've got an echo. Is anyone else?
Where's that coming from?
Richie, I think.
Richie?
You've got an echo from me?
Maybe.
Yes, because my microphone is a bit shit.
Right. Are you supposed to be in here, Richie?
I don't know. Recently, station for the party. The problem is that I have about 10 people near me, so...
Right. Well...
It's better if I leave the party for you. Yes.
This is... It's...
Commentary box.
Commentary box party.
If you get on the podium, I don't think I will be at the podium.
Well, yeah. We'll see. We'll see you later, Richie.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Right. Well, the echo's gone, isn't it? Yep. Good. Right, what the fuck am I doing now? No. I want to go back to the race. Yeah, I managed, didn't I? It was all a bit stressful, but hey ho. Dan did it for a whole season on Formula 1.
Yeah, Dan texted me when I was away saying, "Oh, you don't need to come back next week. Kelly's loving life."
Well, I don't know if loving life is quite the term, but there you go.
Right, anyway, boys, I shall shoot off.
Good luck, Dan. Watch those lights.
I think I'm on my own tonight, so that's going to be fun.
You can stay with us.
You'll be able to concentrate more.
If you keep your mouth shut, you can stay with us.
There's no Fury, I don't think either. He said he's feeling like shit.
There's what, sorry?
There's no Fury, because I think he's feeling like shit. That's what he's messaged me.
Right.
So,
We got a few missing, haven't we?
No Fury, Little Leach, Sutty.
Cobb was meant to come in and race, but he's literally driving his way home.
Whoever Cobb is.
He did touring cars with us. He's actually a decent driver.
And did Clio's as well, didn't he? I remember him in Clio's.
Yeah, he did Clio's in Motive.
And
with us. Yeah, and Plava might just miss practice. So, Gary's not Yeah, it's going to be an interesting round.
Right. Richie, we'll see you on the podium.
Catch you later.
See you later, Dan.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Okay, Smithy, same as we was before. Same format. We do the, I'll say hello. Say hello to you. Then we'll do the track guide and all that bullshit, and then we'll, you know.
How was it last week? Good racing, was it?
Oh, fuck if I know. Yeah, there was. Yes, it was. Dubai, wasn't it? Yeah, we ended up with. Overtaker didn't have such a good round, or did he? I know there was close battles between Jamie and Matt and Dan and a few others. Yeah, it wasn't bad actually. There was a couple of. There was towards the end of race 2, I think it was. There was like 2 really close battles, and I had to kind of keep jumping from one to the other, trying to keep an eye on both of them,
Nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a nightmare when it's like that. And they were both it was both Mercs and Audis. Richie had a good week. That's what it was. That's why he's still in the party, because Richie had a really good good run.
Was he?
Yeah. He's right actually, and quite funny to chat to for a Frenchman.
There's only 9 drivers if you take me and you out.
I know. A bit worrying, isn't it? Race results. Let's have a look at race results.
So Matt won both races last week. How far is he behind Undertaker now?
Well, he won both because I think there was a penalty on one. Yeah. I don't think he won on track. I was just looking at Richie. Richie. Richie was 3rd in race 1 last week.
Good result. Gary not in top 3 race.
Gary. No. Am I looking at the right one?
So Matt won race 1.
No, hang on. I might be looking at the wrong. I don't know if I'm even looking at the right fucking. I know I'll even look at this table very often, so I don't even know if I'm looking at the right fucking table. To be fair, from Argent, that's us. Kota. So he's got fucking Zolder down for last week. Fucking Zolder. Spot on. Fucked if I know. Don't know if I'm reading it right. Yeah. Well, Richie was on the podium anyway, so he Matt's now in front of Dan by 5 points, and he's 50 off Overtaker. So I mean, it could be clawed back, you know.
Yeah.
He ain't as fucking far behind as I am to Max now. I'm like 75 points behind or something, 79 points behind after last night. So, yeah. 50 points. Yeah. Only needs 2 fucking disconnections, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, all to play for still, or a crash, put him right out of the race.
Absolutely.
Isn't the best track for overtaking either.
Yeah, no, probably not. And, you know, it's not the easiest one to overtake if you're in the pack either, is it?
No. I reckon the Lambo will be quick round here, though. We
Yeah,
ain't got no
could be.
Lambos in the car, have we?
No, so we haven't got
I reckon that'll be quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, them Ferrari boys were quick last night, weren't they? Shane and Bryn.
Yeah, they were quick last night, although I was catching Bryn before I fucking spun.
Had a twiddle.
Yeah. And Peaceful's been quick in practice, so but he won't translate it. So, but we'll see who else in the Ferrari. Smokey. Who else is in the Ferrari? Oh, Sutty, isn't he? Sutty's in the Ferrari.
Yeah, Sutty. He's not his man.
No. Halfway through, mate.
We are.
The seasons go
by.
quickly, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that the second half of the season is going to suit me a little bit better.
Yeah, like I say, I've been consistent, not spinning off.
Yeah.
But the pace is just not there.
I nearly fucking crashed into the back of you last night, man.
I know,
Jesus
so did
Christ.
Monkey Boy Monkey Boy was the first one that nearly went, and then you did on the straight going into the corner. I thought it was my fault. Here we go.
Yeah, I had Max breathing down my neck. Right, we were in a you know, side by side kind of thing, and I got to the corner, and the back of your car just came up so quick that I had to just kind of bail out of it. You know. I bailed out of it, but Max then got me, like, you know. So I hate being overtaken. But yeah, as I said, I nearly crashed right in the back here. Half distance in season 7, and at the beginning of the season I told you to look out for the most competitive season that we've ever had. That was complete rubbish, because one man has pretty much dominated the whole season. Can he do it in the second half? Well, we'll see. Will the likes of Matt and Dan, Jamie, Gary, all those, will they be able to make a comeback? We will see as we move into the second half of season 7. Welcome to Simplay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along. My name is Kelly Davis, klf900, and welcome to Watkins Glen here, just outside New York. And welcome to my co-commentator back from his caravan trip to Bosnia or wherever he went. Smithy, welcome along.
Evening, Kelly. How are we?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, yourself? Are you kind of rested and relaxed after your week away or whatever it was?
Yeah, a few days away in a caravan. Can't beat a caravan holiday, nice and cheap.
No, absolutely. That's the way we love them. We love a bit of camping and caravanning. That's fantastic. So, yeah, 2 days away, super refreshed. And Watkins Glen, what do you think of this one?
Oh, it's a nice track. Not the best track for overtaking, I don't reckon. But tonight should be with the pace of these boys, should be fun to watch.
Should be interesting. So don't go anywhere. We haven't got the full grid this evening. We've got a few missing this week for general for various different reasons. But we will get into that a bit later on, and we'll get into talking about this track as well. Me and Smithy are both fans. Matt and Dan weren't last night, so we'll have a bit of a chat about that. If you're on the messages this evening, please do give us a hello, a hi if you're watching live. We'd love to hear from you. Love to have all your comments this evening. We'll start the evening, Smith, like we normally do, with one of Dan's fantastic track guides. So, stay tuned. Be coming with you in just 1 second. Thank you once again for Daniel doing a fantastic job with that track guide. I do like those things. They are absolutely fantastic. Coming up on your screen any second now, you should have the map of the track. Dan went through all the bits and pieces. Watkins Glen is just outside New York, has a capacity of 38,900 people. It's actually owned by NASCAR. Owner and operator, and it's been a permanent circuit since 1956. 11 corners, as Dan said. There you go, there's the graphic. And on my screen it's saying FIA grade 2. This is saying grade 1, so don't know who's right, who's wrong there. Lap record in Summit Quick would be a 1:23.9. That was Sebastian Bourdais in the Dallara DW12 2017 IndyCar. As Dan said, Pro qualifying a 1:41 Andy C, and race record in Pro 1:42 by Unorthodox last time we were here. So that's the track and all about it, Smith.
141's a record.
Yeah, that's what I got here in front of me. 1:41 in quali and 1:42 in race.
141 is quick.
It is quick, isn't it? Yeah, very. We're in the 1:42. 3 people in the 1:42s as we speak. We'll see if we get anything better out of that in qualifying in just a few minutes. So let's have a look at the championship tables, shall we?
Run us through.
I'm going to, yep. No surprise, still in the leads, overtaker with 215 points. Now, I haven't kept up to date with everything that's been going on in Pro, but I believe there were some penalties incurred, and I think Matt may have adopted the second race win. Don't quote me on all that. Check it out on the Facebook page. I'm sure it's all there. But Matt is in second place now, only 50 points off the lead, which is doable. So he's on 165 in second place. Dan has dropped back 5 points behind him after not the best second round at Dubai last week, and he's dropped back 5 points behind Matt on 160, 55 off the lead. Emplava in fourth place with 103, not here this evening, but he might get in for the race, we'll see. Big Boy Brazier in fifth place on exactly 100 points, as I said, in P5. Gary's in P6 with 97. Richie in P7 after a podium last week with 93. Little Leach is in P8 with 75 points. P9 is Fury, also not here this evening, is he? I don't think he's feeling very well tonight. I think that's the problem with Fury, and he's in P9, 70 points. Peaceful Explosion in 10th with 67. D Biggs in 11th, 65 points. JM Grill is in 12th position with 46 points. Sutty Apex also not here this evening, 13th place with 42 points. Holty in 38 points in P14. P15, Smoky Devil with 22 points, bringing up the rear. So there your standings. Constructors, Jaeger Motorsport in the lead at the moment with 262 points, being followed by Love Island Bombshells with 235, 27 behind. Muck Overtaker Racing Face Jobby P3 with 194 points. Ginsters are not proper pasties with 165 points in fourth place. Speedy Frogs in fifth place, 139. Smoking Hot Racing 125 points in P6. P7 Simplay Racing 109, and Teletubby Motorsport bringing up the rear with 108 points in P8. That's all your standings up to date. Woo! Right, just before we get chatting, Smith, I'll just say hello to the chatty types. PN Motorsport, always good to see you every week. Mike Matthews. Yeah, that's Mike Matthews. That's our very own Peaceful Explosion. Good evening, Holty. Hello, Holty. Yep, he's in there as well. Monkey Boy, my teammate. Hello, Monkey. I hope you're fine and well. Phil in there as well. DJ Phil. Hello. Good evening. Blah blah blah. If you're in the chat, we've got 14 watching and 8 likes. Press the like button, like and subscribe, and do all that stuff that you're supposed to do. But if you're in the chat, just listening along, just say hi. Give us a hi and say, hello there, because we like the interaction. Don't know, Smithy?
We do enjoy it.
Right, that's all that stuff done. What should we talk about?
Well, it's all to play for. Now we're at the halfway point.
It is all to play for. Now, Overtaker's had a good first half of the season, hasn't he? But he is. I mean, we were talking about this just off air. He's 50 points out ahead. Now, this is what, round 12? Yeah, round 12. So we got another 12 rounds to do. That kind of works out for halfway, doesn't it? Yeah, that kind of sounds right. So, I mean, it is all to play for, isn't it? 50 points ahead isn't the end of the world, is it?
50 points isn't a lot, is it? Like we said, you've got to have one bad race, and that's soon shut down to 25.
Absolutely, you know, yeah. I mean, Matt's in second place, Dan not far behind him. I mean, you know, you jump back then to Enplava, who's 112 off. So I think at the moment this championship is pretty much a 3-horse race here, don't you?
I agree totally. We did say that this track goes a hard one for overtaking, and we did say the Lambo's probably going to be quick, even though we haven't seen the overtaker around here, and he is proven at the moment to be quick.
Absolutely, and certainly in the mix tonight is Peaceful Explosion in the Ferraris.
Yep. Good to see him up there in the Ferrari, but the Ferrari last night showed pace around here.
It certainly did in the hands of Shane and Bryn. Both had good pace last night. Shane with a race win in the first race. Excuse me. So yeah, we know the Ferrari's good. So Peaceful could certainly upset the apple cart. The Audi itself hasn't been quite so good. We're on board with Dan right at the moment, and he wasn't sounding particularly confident, was he?
No, it didn't sound like this was one of his better tracks.
No, indeed, and he seems to be all over the shop, recorrecting the car a couple of times through that corner. And
both D-Bigs and Big Boy Brazers tonight.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, as I say, we are missing quite a few this evening, so it does look like Jamie Brazier and D-Bigs are both missing, so they must be on a team holiday or something. We're missing Sutty Apex, we're missing Fury, we're missing Enplava. Enplava might be back, he might get in for the race. I don't quite know what all the situations are, but we're missing these guys, so it only gives us 10 on the.
That could help a bit benefit tonight, because there won't be so many people bunched up so quick. That will spread out.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I mean, we don't know, do we? I mean, we've had some great races with you know, just 10 cars on track, and sometimes we've had some dull ones, you know. So it's hard to tell, I suppose. I think the key again is if Overtaker's on the front row and he gets away in front, then you know he's so incredibly hard to catch on pace. If he's back in the pack, then he's got to do the overtaking round, and there is overtaking opportunities, but it's not easy.
No, it's probably not the best track for the Mercedes of Gary, Matt, and Richie tonight.
No, it's more of a chassis track tonight, I think, which favours the Ferrari. The Ferrari being a chassis car, and last night, you know, there's a lot of chassis cars in Pro-Am. Yeah, you know, it kind of suited a lot of them last night.
Even though we've still got these boys at the back of the back of practice, Holty and Little Leach, they'd have still been first and second in qualifying for the Pro-Am last night. That's a big step. Or did somebody hit a 143 last night?
Yeah, no, Ugbar did a 143 last night. Yeah, he had good pace last night. Unfortunately, couldn't translate it. If you didn't get to see it last night, please do go back on the YouTube channel. Not now, of course, because we're live, but do go back on the YouTube channel and watch it back.
Dan's just had a.
Hello. Hello. Now he's got some pace all of a sudden. Yeah, that's more like it. The Audi boys have been complaining about this Audi kind of going off the pace towards the end of the race and getting a little bit, I want to say, kind of jelly-like. Look at him sliding through that chicane there. He's absolutely hanging that out. But they've made complaints about the Audi being just going off the boil a little bit towards the end of the race. So we'll see how that pans out, eh? Oh, and he's round. I thought he was hanging that out a lot.
I had that a bit last night, a bit slippery on the back end. It was nice to get it out, but as soon as if you just clipped it or went a bit too hard, that was it gone. So I've always gone for a more stable setup, not so loose on the back end.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. Did
you find the curbs last night? If you touched a curb?
Well, that was one of the reasons why I was halfway across the track when you come round the corner, because I got up on the curb. I hadn't done it all night, but lapse of concentration, got up on the curb and turned me round really quickly, and there was no way of catching it. So certain curbs you can run. I found turn 1 here as we come down into it, Gary, if you got up on that curb, that was it, you stay right away from that curb. And coming up the hill here, I found that kind of loose just there as Gary starts to go up the hill. That was quite loose. I had a moment at the top of the hill. The tricky one is this chicane. I found the chicane coming up now. It's quite high speed, but you get it wrong and the back end would just swap ends really quickly. As we can see,
second from last left. I found that an absolute nightmare.
This second from last left. We'll get to that in just a second.
You overtook me last lap, I think it was.
Right. That downhill one there is quite tricky. That can be if you don't brake. If you're late on your brakes, this is where I went round. Just there, got up on that curb and went round. And if you're late on the brakes to that other one, then you'll swap ends. This is where it all starts to get tricky. This one isn't too bad. Are you talking about the next one, the uphill? Do they call it the heel?
The
I think.
on the left. This one is the one I struggled with every time. This one.
Yeah, a lot of people do, and I think, as I said, they call it the heel there. As you see Gary just stepping the back end out a little bit, and whoever that is behind him, Holty, I think it was, just stepping the back end out as well. So, that is a really tricky corner. Very loose. Yeah, the whole track has its moments, that's for certain, sure.
Well, we've got M. Plaver in, that's good to see.
Yeah, he might be in for qualifying. That will be fantastic. If he is.
That is the practice session over.
It is, you're right. And where are we? So Unorthodox, as he's been moaning and bitching and cranking about how rubbish he was in earlier practice, is the fastest man in practice, although this is practice and worth absolutely nothing. But he's in the 42.1, just ahead of Overtaker and Peaceful Explosion. As we said, he's shown pace today in that Ferrari, so he's in third place. Matt fourth, Gary fifth. Only 10 runners for that practice session. If you're only just joining us, the format goes like this. We've just had a 20-minute practice. We now move into a 10-minute qualifying session, which will sort out the order for the first race. We'll then have a 15-lap race with a mandatory pit stop, and then we do it all over again, minus the practice session. So, what's your thoughts on pole, Smithy?
I'm going to have to go Overtaker. He's out first again.
Yeah.
I expect he's on low fuel, as always.
13.
He's going to go 2 laps.
Probably a little bit more. I had a little bit more than that, and I could do 5. I think I had about 15 litres and could do something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But that's more than one. That's more than an outlap and a flyer. He might be doing 2 flyers on that one. They're all going to be on soft tyres tonight. It's not warm enough for the hard.
Peaceful might take pole.
Yeah, he's got a good chance at it. His 1 lap pace is good. But we might see a Peaceful pirouette before the end of the end of the evening.
See him on the podium tonight.
That would be nice, wouldn't it, to talk to Mike on the podium? Yeah, that would be lovely. That's completely jinxed him now, Smithy. You know that, don't you? That's his race ruin. That's his completely.
For God's sake, do not say that.
Ed Plaver's got in, so hopefully Ed Plaver's going to get on it and join us. So that'll be 11 drivers instead of.
Matt's behind the Overtaker. That'll be interesting. Getting the old slipstream. I know the Undertaker's let him past.
Doesn't want him behind him, does it? Overtaker's taking a lot of him. He doesn't want to be in this traffic, does he? He wants a clear run. So he's got Dan now behind him. Is there any tactics at play here? A word that I use very loosely.
Tactics is not.
Tactics. We've had tactics.
I don't know if you can get tactics in quali. I don't know what tactics you use in qualifying.
Well, he could be holding Dan up.
And nothing works.
You know.
Then you've got to worry more about Dan and your own lap.
Yeah, it's gameplay, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's not saying that Overtaker was a bit loose, Overtaker. Not saying that Overtaker was doing that, but you can have a bit of gameplay, you know, by putting your opponents off. You know, there's loads of ways to do it, isn't there? Like flashing, getting in the way, brake checking, all kinds of ways you can put your opponent off and just mess with their mojo a little bit, isn't it?
If you're up there, then yeah, by all means.
Well, it's the way some
other people on a Wednesday to try and do tactics with.
Well, yeah, this is it. No, I'm not going to get into tactics of BMX racing, but yeah, there was a few that I used to try and help out, you know. But we're watching, currently on board with Matt. No times down yet because they're still on their out laps. As I said, soft tyre night tonight. It's not warm enough for the hards. We're just outside New York. I don't think it's a particularly warm time of year in New York, is it? Sorry?
No, not when I went there last. It wasn't.
No, when I popped over last. Yeah, right.
Have you ever been?
No, mate, I haven't. No, have you?
Lovely place. Yeah, lovely place. I went Christmas time, 2020, 2018.
Yeah, Hayley's just sticking her thumbs up here. She went Christmas time as well, and I think if you are going to go to New York, it's got to be the most magical time to go, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was good fun. I didn't realise this was actually outside New York.
Yeah, I think it's like very, very close. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there isn't a lot of grass in New York. It's all concrete and buildings.
Yeah, I think this is. I think this is just on the outskirts. Peaceful is the quickest man at the moment, followed by Matt, followed by Dan. Just a couple of tenths between them. Overtaker not a scruffy. He's had a scruffy lap, 2.5 seconds down. As I said, he might be having a bit of a sighter lap, just to bring his tyres into the right window. You know.
Could be, yeah.
Dan's back in the pits. He must be on a low fuel run. Going to probably get out again and have another crack at that because he's going to want to be on the front row. But
Overtaker, nice at the moment. Not the lap he would have wanted.
No.
Good say peaceful. Good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. He's setting the pace at the moment with a 42.4. They went quicker in practice, so we know the time is there for sure.
I don't know. Peaceful's. I think that's the quickest lap Peaceful's done.
Yeah, mate, I was saying the overall pace was a little bit quicker. They were.
Yeah.
I think it was a 42.0 was the last.
Yeah, Dan's was a 42.1, wasn't it? And Undertaker's was a 42.2.
Yeah, sounds about right to me. I'm just trying to Google Watkins Glen to see exactly where it is in relation to New York. As I said, I do know it's very, very close. Maps, here we go. Peaceful back in the pits at the moment, and yeah, I might have to zoom out a little bit because New York is a big.
141.
Oh, hello.
He's done it. Oh.
Yeah, hello. Overtakers joined the party at 141.
Yeah, anyone at 40 weren't taking this seriously.
No, he certainly is. Yeah, it's
500 seconds. That is. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, half a second quicker than Peaceful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, from what I can work out, and I'm not very good on my New York geography, that it's actually right slap back in the midst of it. Like, you know, it's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, there's loads of different. What would you call those? Provinces or towns of.
Yeah.
Yeah, suburbs of New York, and it's right in there. Yeah, right in there. So yeah. So not on the outskirts at all. It's right in New York. So.
Probably in Central Park. That's that big.
Where is Central Park in relation? Let's. I don't know. We're probably getting a little bit distracted with this. Massachusetts, Boston. I have no idea. Hang on, Hayley's on it now. Because she's been there. So, back to the racing instead of the geography. Holty in the pits at the moment. Is he done for the session? We've got 2.5 minutes. He's got time to get out, but he's got time to get out and have another go at it. Who else is on the move? Where's Gary at the moment? He's 5th place at the moment, only 8/10 off the pole. But I mean, you know what it's like when you get to that ultimate pace. Trying to find 8/10 is like trying to find a day and a half, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's can be a long time in motor racing. 8/10.
There's not much. Matt's separating Dan from Peaceful. So Dan's separated between 2 Mercs, which is surprising. I didn't think the Mercs would be that quick round here.
No,
said.
but I mean they're both in the hands of 2 very handy drivers.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
a little bit. Smokey's got a red flag against his name.
That means he has a penalty, and you have the power, my friend.
Have the power. What would it be under? Timings? Nope.
Yeah, no, you had it there. It was 1 grid penalty, so could have been speeding out of pits, that one. So 1 grid penalty, which is going to make absolutely no difference. Oh, as we see JM Grill having a moment at the chicane, bails out of it. So that's going to make no difference to him whatsoever, as he's on the back row anyway.
I see you were a bit happy slappy on the old acceleration off the grid last night again.
2 races in a row, mate. 2 races in a row. Yeah, drive-through penalty. I could have been on the podium last night. I'm sure I could. But yeah, dragged it back to 5th place after a drive-through. But yeah, again.
Hello. Dan's now moved up to 2nd.
He has as well. Yeah, quick lap. Me and Dan have been working on race starts, and at the moment it's a little bit 50-50. I say 2 in a row. I had a jump start. Dan had a jump start last week as well. So we haven't quite got it as nailed as we would like, but when it works, I mean, last week at Dubai, I was in the lead before I got to turn 1 from a fantastic start. But yeah, me and Dan are still working on it. So watch Dan start tonight. Could be electric, could be a drive-through. The American tracks, the lights sequence slightly different. They take a little bit longer to come on. When you're sat in the car ready to go and the lights start going, there's a longer pause before the sequence actually starts, and it's only on the American tracks that we've found that happens. The sequence itself is the same, but to get going just takes a little bit longer.
Forward's a little bit longer, is it?
Yeah, it does. I don't know if you've noticed it yourself, but yeah, there is that about American tracks, and there's 4 American tracks on the calendar this season. This is the 3rd one because we've already done Watkins Glen and somewhere else, Kota. We've already done, and we've still got Daytona at the end of the season to do. So 4 American tracks this season. And we are time up, and who's still on track? Overtaker, he's done, he's in the pits. He's put a 1:41.9 in, which is a stellar lap. Dan's still on track, Peaceful's still on track. Peaceful coming across the line now. That's going to be his best effort, and he retains 3rd, half a second off the ultimate pace. I think he'll be reasonably pleased with that. Matt's done, he's bailed out of it. Here comes Dan, he's coming round. Where is he? Still halfway round the lap by the looks of it. In the final sector, he's down at the moment. His delta is a 10th off. That is his own pace as well, not the ultimate pace. So got about 3/10 to find in the last sector. Dan said the last sector's his worst one as well. So this might be fruitless for him. But we will see as he comes up through the heel and into the final couple of corners.
Was the qualifying record a 1:41 dead, was it?
Oh, I can't remember what it was. 1:41. Dan goes wide there. That's going to be no good. He's going to bail on that one, no doubt. Yep. And spins it. So Little Leach across the line. Where does he end up? 7th place.
That's a great result for Holty in 6th place.
Yeah. Good run in the Merc again. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that all about? So your qualifying session looks like this. It's Overtaker from Unorthodox. Peaceful Explosion and Matt take up the second row. Gary and Holty in the Mercs in the third row. Little Leech and Richie 7 and 8. And Plava's 9th. Smoky Devil is 10th. And I'm the one who can do the scrolling, aren't I? And JM Grill. JM Grill is your last man. Still on a 44. He had a 44.2, did JM Grill, you know. So that wasn't a tardy lap, was it?
No, that was not the compared to what they practice.
Yeah, and compared to Pro-Am's pace last night, that would have put JM Grill right up the, right in the mix of it with that time.
Smokey's starting at the back due to a grid penalty.
Yep. Due to his grid penalty, he ends up at the back of the grid. So they're just all syncing up. 16 laps. Pit window is 3 to 10. So they must pit at between the end of lap 3 and before lap 10. If they have damage and come in earlier, then they have to pit again. Simple as. So, and drive-through penalties and stuff like that needs to be. They would need to pit again. So pit window between 3 and 10. Mandatory pit stop as usual. Don't have to change anything, but they do have to come into the pits and make a pit stop. Predictions.
If the man in front gets away, you can't say any different, can you? Overtaker, no. If he gets away, he's gone.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you're right. If he gets the start and gets clean air, he's a hard man to beat. So we're syncing up, so we're ready to go. Waiting for the lights.
Flying start.
Yeah, watch down on the start. We've got 1 set of lights, 2, 3 lights, and green and go. We are away, and Dan with an excellent start, but Overtaker equally as good. As they come down into turn 1, Matt's already on the side of Peaceful Explosion, but it's Overtaker who leads into turn 1. Dan is there in second place. Peaceful Explosion has held Matt off into third, and Holty going up a place as he's got past Gary. All pretty clean through the first couple of corners as they rise up the hill for the first time and over the bridge. Dan is already looking at the back of Overtaker. If he's going to get it done, he's got to get it done soon. Richie, we're on board with in a melee of cars and Mercs and all the rest of it as they come through the chicane for the first time. Dan couldn't get it all, and that's Little Leech, is it? Little Leech round, got loose on the chicane. So it's Dan is chasing the back of Overtaker. As I said, he's going to want to do this quickly before Overtaker gets into his rhythm. Dan needs to be sharp straight away, and before this Audi starts to become loose, I suppose. Holty with a great start, wasn't it?
Yeah, up to 5th, yeah. He's flying.
Yes, indeed. He had an absolute flyer of a start. He's the top 4 beginning to lose him a little bit, beginning to drop him a little bit.
See, Peaceful's under pressure from Matt. It'll be interesting to see how he copes with the pressure from Matt. Matt's not going to give up very easy.
No, Matt is a pit bull. He doesn't give up and he doesn't surrender.
Tommy's round. Holty's round.
Holty's round. I think Emplava was there with him as well. Yeah. Oh, what a shame for Holty. He was going so well. I don't know if. We don't know what happened. So let's not presume.
That was that corner I said to you about, wasn't it?
Yeah, the heel. So Dan all over the shop in turn 1, trying to keep pace. And it's Matt at a moment. Is he dropped back off Peaceful a little bit?
He's a second off.
Yeah, must have had a little bit of a moment. Had to collect it back up a bit. We're on board with the Underfrog of Richie, and he promoted up into 6th. But Dan's still right on the back of Overtaker. Overtaker hasn't dropped him yet, has he? Peaceful right in there as well.
But you can't afford to drop him.
No.
As soon as you start dropping him, that's it, he's gone, like we said.
Absolutely, Dan's got to be right on it, but it's that knife edge between trying to go quickly and not dropping it. And as we said earlier, this track can be slippery. it can catch you out quite easily. The curbs can be nasty. The track surface can be nasty.
Oh, it's got right down to 10th. I don't know if we picked up any damage.
Yes, indeed. Emplava with another wobble by the looks of it. Again, we don't know what damage they sustained. Peaceful pulling back up onto the back of these two. So Overtaker, I don't think he's got the ultimate pace that he normally has, Smithy. I think he's. I don't think he's quite as quick as he normally is.
Well, you got Dan in the Audi, so the pace ain't quite as. Where do you reckon he's going to overtake the Lambo around here, the Audi? Where would you aim for the? I mean, it ain't going to do a Lambo in a straight line, is it?
I wouldn't have thought so. No, I wouldn't have thought so.
There aren't many corners you're going to.
Yeah, was that Overtaker trying to break the toe there? I
think so. Well, it just done a 143.2. Dan was a 143.5.
Yeah, so
Peaceful's a 143, and the rest are in 144s.
Yeah, so top three in the 43s, as you say. I don't know. I think Dan's going to have to possibly wait for a mistake, or maybe into turn one if he gets a good drive.
He just had a moment's smoke. He's now overtook Emplava.
Yeah, Emplava's going very slowly. I wonder if he's carrying damage, you know. Going very slowly and just trying to get round to, what was it, end of this lap, isn't it? End of lap 3.
Yeah, end of lap 3.
Yeah, it's the pit window. I wonder if Emplava's just trying to get round and not take a penalty, not have to take a second stop. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't, you know. It's what you lose in the pit lane, isn't it?
Yep.
And I think it's about 25 to 30 seconds pit lane loss.
I nearly jumped you in the pitch yesterday.
Sorry?
I nearly jumped you in the pitch yesterday. We came out side by side. Did you notice?
That's right. Yeah.
I'm backing out of this one.
I had a quick pit stop, as I remember, but yeah, we were close for sure. So yeah, it's about 20-25 second, 25 to 30 second loss, depending on how fast your actual pit stop is. So pit lane is open, end of lap 3.
Who's going to be the first to dive in?
Who is going to be the first? I'm reckoning Emplava's going to come in and do his damage.
Oh no, Gary's in first. That's
Gary's
surprising.
in first, so he's the first one to pull the trigger. And is he on a strategy for this? I normally am. I normally know when I'm going to pit.
He's the only one to pit. Oh, no, Little Leach is in.
Little Leach is in as well. Again, is Little Leach carrying damage? We saw him spin and have a few moments. And Emplava. I reckon Emplava's been carrying damage for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, his front bumper's a bit squiggly.
Yeah, a bit skew-whiff. We'll probably see that he'll be in the pits for quite some time. So things are beginning to stabilise a little bit at the front now. Overtaker's nearly a second in ahead of Dan now. Dan's dropped Peaceful by a second and a bit. Dan up on the grass there. That's not the best way to do it. You'll want a Honda for that. Yeah, the grass is quite well kept here, so they've obviously got a circuit Honda. Especially for looking after the grass. Yeah, so things have stabilised a little bit. Peaceful dropping away from the front two. Matt just dropping away as well. Might be trying to save their tyres as well, Smithy, because you know they're all on the softs. I would have thought they were all on the softs.
Yeah, I'd have thought so as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other options really. You know, so it might be just taking it easy on the tyres. American cameramen again, they are useless. There you go, there's Gary. There's Gary. He's
pitted to come out of the back.
Yeah, now it isn't a bad strategy to pit early, get yourself into clean air, and then crack on. It's the strategy I took last night. Well, I take most weeks to be fair, and I was in a podium position right up until I was rubbish and crashed.
Peter's slightly ahead of Matt by a couple of seconds. I wonder if they're just sitting back, because like we said, it's not the best track to overtake on.
No, not at all. So
Matt's got a big gap between him and JM Grill. It's 8 seconds.
Yeah, so maybe that's their strategy. Gary back in the pits. I don't know why.
no.
Holty and Smokey in the pits as well, almost sat on top of each other by the looks of it. I wonder why Gary's back in the pits. What's Gary back in the pits for?
Tactics.
Tactics? What, pit twice? Give the other guys a chance. I don't think that's the case. Yeah, we don't know what Gary's doing that for. Maybe we'll find out later.
Max.
Got a what?
I thought Peaceful had a bit of an off because Matt was catching.
Yeah, he's still a couple of seconds behind, isn't he? So, I say the top two are just dropping. Well, as I say, Overtaker is slightly quicker than Dan at the moment. Although the match lap times last time round, 43.4 and a 43.4.
Yeah, when it says he's only a second behind, that is nothing.
Well, no.
You look in your mirror and he's literally behind you when it says a second.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Still in the pit. Has he had a moment?
I reckon. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Gary. Peaceful's in. He looks like he's got damage now as well.
Not on my screen.
Oh right, okay. On my screen, his bonnet's smashed in, but well, it's kind of what I'm used to seeing.
I wonder if Gary had a moment. He's right at the back now, pitting twice.
Yeah, well, pitting twice. He's now, race ruined, isn't it? Really. So I don't know what happened to Gary. So Peaceful still in the pits at the moment. We'll see where he comes out. So there he is. He's out of the pits, and as I say, on my screen he's got a damaged bonnet, but he's away and on his way. Excuse me. Lap 6 already. I found the laps counted down quite quickly on this one last night, or it felt like it.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Yeah, it seemed to count down quite quickly. I, as I said earlier at the top of the show, both myself and you, Smithy, we both like this track, didn't we? We both enjoy it. Matt and
the only thing I found, like you say, if you one bit of lack of concentration and you hit them curbs, that's done.
Yeah, and you're in trouble, absolutely. And it can bite you quite quickly and quite hard. But I feel like it's once you get into the flow of it,
look at that curb. See, he's just hit the curb. Oh, he's corrected then.
Just caught N there as N went past, and
nothing he could do about that.
No, not a lot. It keeps his rear spoiler. N's, I don't know why. I don't know if N spun then and it got going afterwards or whatever. But
literally just hit that curve off a chicane, didn't he?
Yeah, there's
a fraction of curve,
and that was that. There's quite a few spinners, to be honest. I don't know if there's just as much as there was at Pro-Am last night. Is the way it seems to be. Because I thought most of the Pro-Am, well, from what I saw where I was reasonably behaved.
Yeah, I couldn't remember seeing anybody apart from yourself.
Apart from me, yeah.
Having a spin.
Yeah.
I had my own little spin due to lack of concentration, like little Luke's just then. But apart from that, it seemed pretty clean. Yeah,
it seemed to be last night. It seemed to be that Pro-Am were behaving themselves last night.
11 drivers, and they're pretty well spaced out all over the track. There isn't anyone within a second of each other. No,
and this is the problem, isn't it? When you've only got 11 drivers on the grid, it can get quite spaced out like it is. I mean, that's
the two French superstars are the closest to on track.
Well, I was trying to think of something French then. Of course, my limited French knowledge of bonjour and je t'aime.
And is back in. Well,
he's lost his rear spoiler. Yeah. Lost his rear spoiler. That was clumsy to lose that, wasn't it?
The Leachy boys are obviously deciding to pit twice tonight.
Yeah. Give the other guys a go.
Undertaker's gap N-dubs of 2 seconds.
Yeah, and as you say, it's kind of spacing out. What's up?
Matt's 5 seconds behind Dan.
Yeah.
And then that's a big gap of 13 seconds.
Matt's in, and in for his mandatory pit stop on lap 7. And wiggling around. Don't need to warm those tyres right now. And let's see if he has a quick one. Not bad at all. That's a pretty quick stop. Pretty sharp, that one. Where does that bring him out in relation to Peaceful? That's going to be the point. He was a couple of seconds off.
Now coming round. I think he's just going to get ahead.
It's going to be tight, you know.
I think it's going to get him.
Yeah, because the pit lane feeds out on the exit of turn 1. Yep. Peaceful's going to come out and go, oh, he's done it. And quite a margin. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa. Richie's in the pits, by the way.
Yeah, Richie's in and done with the pits. He's out, so Speedy Frog is...
Matt must have made some seconds up, or Peaceful lost a few seconds after pitting.
Well, again...
Peaceful's 3 seconds ahead.
If you get the pit stop glitch right, I mean, Matt's stop was pretty quick. We didn't see Peaceful's. I don't know if Peaceful uses the glitch, but I'm sure he does. You know, if you don't use the glitch, then a pit stop is, what, 6 seconds or so stationary? If you do use it.
I've got to do a big shout out to my teammate every week. He's like, got to use the glitch, and he goes in with the damage, comes out, glitch didn't work.
Yeah, there is a technique. There is a technique. I get it right most weeks. I had a 1.4 stop last night, and Orthodubs is in, and now he's another one that he's another one that knows how to use the glitch. So let's see how long he's stationary for.
See where he comes out with Matt.
Yep, I think Dan had enough in hand. Yeah, what was that? 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds.
Yeah, he's only up 4 seconds from Matt though.
Yeah, so he has used the glitch, like all these guys tend to.
Here they come. JM Grill's also in.
JM Grill also in. That's most of everybody, is it? Overtaker, of course, yeah. Overtaker hasn't come in yet. Where did Dan come out? Where's Dan? Yeah, he's off down the road, look.
Yeah. So Matt's jumped Peaceful to take 3rd at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And at the moment, that's the way they stand. 26 seconds ahead is Overtaker now, but of course he hasn't stopped yet. So he's only got another lap or so to do it, because pit window shuts lap 10. So
Could Dan jump him? Because we know Overtaker doesn't use the glitch.
Well, let's see.
A 25-second pit stop.
It will be interesting. Let's see.
It's gonna be close.
It is for sure. Just jump into the chat. A few people haven't said hello to Fury's Grandad, good evening. Peaceful Stepdad, good evening, hello. PN Motorsport, useless cameraman in this game, yeah, and especially America.
That's just me.
Oh no, you just tell them which ones to. You're the director, yeah. The cameramen are, usually too busy looking in the bushes for some reason in America. Maybe it's an American thing.
Our man's in.
Right, now we'll see. Dan's 21 seconds behind at the moment. Of course, the time's going to tick down really quickly.
He's got a back marker though, Dan.
Right, Dan's got a back marker, as you say, looking like Little Leech, but
teammates.
That shouldn't be too much of a problem. Overtaker is on his way out again.
Looks like he's on his way out, or is he the first pit crew and he ain't gone in yet?
No, he's on his way out, so he uses the glitch. There's no doubt about that, because that was sharp as.
Here he comes.
I think Dan's lost time on that one, you know.
Where is he? Can he see him?
Dan's out. There's now it's now 5 seconds between him.
Still behind Little Leech, isn't he?
Little Leech. There you come. There's Little Leech, and there's Dan. I don't think Little Leech had any impact on what happened there. But Dan's now 5 seconds back. So I think Overtaker
that was a glitch. Yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely the glitch. I think Overtaker certainly was the net winner out of all that. So that's everyone's stopped now. Lap 9, so we go all the way to the end. Overtaker's now got 5 and a bit seconds over Dan, Dan's got about 5 seconds over Matt. Peaceful still in close company with Matt. No Peaceful pirouettes just yet. So Mike having a strong race at the moment. And has got like about 16 seconds, 16 seconds now back to Richie in 5th. So these top 4 have certainly pulled away a bit, haven't they?
They have. They've got a nice little gap.
Yeah, indeed.
So I'm surprised about. I didn't think it would be this spaced out with these guys.
Yeah. Well, yeah. As I said, sometimes
I didn't expect these two to be at the back.
No.
Well, maybe
Well,
one, but not the other.
my couple of seasons in pro, Little Leach and Gary were towards the back then. Certainly a resurgence from Gary in the last season or so, but I had some great scraps with the Leach brothers for 10th and 11th. But good driving. They're both really good drivers. So it's the caliber of pro is so good. Anyway, we've said it before. These guys are all so really good at this.
Dan's pumping in 143s, Matt's 145, People's 145. Richie's next fastest on the grid with 144.
Yep, absolutely. It's good race pace, that's for certain, sure. Overtaker showing a 154 at the moment. That's because his last lap was a pitting lap. So, he did pit stop within that lap. Hence why he's got such a slow time for his last lap. So Dan's got 5 laps to drag it back, 5 seconds. I think he could do with overtaking making a mistake, really. But
great points for the 2 French blokes tonight, Richie and James Will, 5th and 6th at the moment.
Yeah, running.
So Richie was on a podium last week while I was away. That's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely, and we got to chat to Richie on the podium last week, and amazing English, absolutely amazing. Probably better than mine, to be fair. It's nearly. I would say probably pound for pound, he's slightly better in English than I am French, but it's marginal. Marginal. Yeah. I've got many phrases like cold as sack, and stuff like that. So here we go, trying to speak French again.
We'll do one race all in French. We'll just get a translation.
A whole race, really. I struggle with the English language for a whole race, but maybe we need to brush up on some phrases. If I get some 5 minutes this week, I'll brush up on some phrases.
Get yourself an audio book.
Yeah, that's the way.
On the way to work.
Yeah.
While you're sitting there on the old Kazi.
Yeah. Well, I don't tend to sit on the Kazi at work, but there you go. On my way to work, I've got a quarter of a mile from my home to work, and then there's no audio bookshops on the way, to be fair. So maybe I'll download something. Knowing me, I'll just end up finding a whole load of phrases which will offend somebody. Do you know what I mean? It'll be like all swear words or something.
Straight off YouTube.
Just touch what? Sorry.
We'll chuck straight off the YouTube channel.
Ah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be barred for French expletives. Mind you, all these guys who are not having English as their first language seem to be very good at expletives. Max Mulder, who's running away with the Pro-Am Championship, does have a grip on the English expletives and seems to keep using them in the interview. So, look, Peaceful must have had a problem. Peaceful must have had one of his famous pirouettes, because he's got Richie breathing down his neck. Is Peaceful now carrying damage? He's dropped a long way back. That was like a 16. It was. So he must have had an absolute howler of a problem. Car doesn't look well on my screen, that's for certain sure. Is he going to pit it? He's not. He's living with the damage. So if there is damage, of course.
Might be close on track as well. Cameraman. We'll stick with Peaceful for a minute and Richie.
Yeah, see if Richie can catch Peaceful back. Peaceful definitely got the pace on Richie, but is he carrying a bit of damage? Has he damaged his tyres now? Who knows? Dan's dragged back a couple of seconds up front, He
has, yep.
But Overtaker in the 43s again, Dan in the low 43s, and Matt in the 43s. Peaceful's last lap a 2:01, so obviously lost like 15-16 seconds, as we kind of surmised. With that, whatever went wrong, I don't know what went wrong, but it was, he hasn't lost any positions, but he certainly lost a chunk of time, and has now got has now got Monsieur breathing down his neck.
Monsieur Rishi.
Monsieur Richie. It's just going to be, if we start learning French, it's just going to be like hello, hello. Do you remember that? Or is that a big target audience?
No, yeah, I remember hello, hello.
Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll set that for the break homework for you people out there. Go and search hello, hello on YouTube, and yeah, just have a quick look at that. That was so funny in its day. It was unbelievable. But we're on to that.
You got more chance of them visiting Audio Sport.
You have, probably, to be fair. The only one that ever does any of these things is the only one that ever does any of it is Welshie or Emplava. Nobody else actually bothers. Do you know what I mean? You know, all the things I do for this league as Audio Sport. Do you know what I mean? And nobody supports me. You bunch of miserable people. Audiosport.co.uk or find us on YouTube, like and subscribe. So, where are we? Dan is bringing down the gap, you know. He's brought it down another second.
14.
Yeah,
to go.
Absolutely. But Overtaker had a scruffy last lap with a 45.1. A scruffy lap.
Nearly 2 seconds. Yeah, nearly 2 seconds slower than Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. So that wouldn't help.
Could his tyres be getting a bit?
Possibly, yeah. The Lamborghini. I don't know if have you ever tried the Lamborghini?
I have tried it. I have tried it a few seasons ago when I was really poor at driving. A bit worse than I am now, but.
Well, I had it for last season and loved it in free practice before the season started, and then hated it for the rest of the season. Absolutely. Yeah, and I said I hated the McLaren the season before, but I hate the Lambo even more. It has a tendency to bite you from time to time. You know, sometimes it will just I don't know, just have a mind of its own and just spit you out in a corner or something, you know. And it does have its moments as well, and I remember when it starts to get low on fuel, if it gets below 20 litres, it becomes a bit more of a handful. So
second and a half off with 1 lap to go. I reckon his tyres are going. I don't know if being on pad, you turn a lot harder on pad. I don't know.
I think your turn is more direct, isn't it? Because there's not so much, you know, the travel is not so much. You can flick your thumb over a lot quicker than you can turn a wheel. Yeah, Overtaker looking a little bit tidy. Oh, he's on the grass. Yeah. He's under pressure.
Dan's less than a second now. I reckon Dan could take this. Let's hope they don't have a common together.
Well, in the words of a very famous commentator who's no longer with us, that being Murray Walker, catching is one thing, overtaking is a very different thing. Yeah, I messed that right up. Catching is one thing, overtaking is another. Something like that.
Matt and Peace were both 143.6, 143.7.
Yeah, they're still going quite well considering. Matt might be just thinking if these two do get together... Yeah. He's a long way back on the last, you know, with a lap and a half to go. But then
we only got to come together, and that's a spin. Yeah. It's 9 seconds gone. We saw Peaceful earlier, 16 seconds he lost.
Absolutely, you're not wrong. So that time can be sucked up really quickly. So, yeah, maybe Matt's just picking up his pace.
Do you push last lap if you're down for the win? Or do you push?
Do you push? Do you? It looks like they're both.
I'd take second if it was myself. I couldn't risk losing second place, I don't think.
Problem is, well, you and me both, to be fair, Smith. But the problem is Dan's fighting for a championship, isn't he? You know, he wants his 4th title. He wants to catch Overtaker and beat him. You know, he will be thinking it would be on his mind to think about the long game. You know, he's in front of Matt, and Matt is in front of him in the championship. So it's points back to Matt, but a win is more points.
Out of the last however many corners, where would you say for Dan to do it?
Probably, I don't know. It's a tough one, really. Not into this one. He might get him down into the next one if he was close enough. And I've seen
in the pit, red flagged as well.
Yeah, so he must have been speeding in the pit lane. I don't know what he's in there for, but it's probably not for us to worry about right now because it makes no difference to anything. At the end of this straight, I was thinking Again, if Dan could have got a run on the straight and got down the inside of him, but he's too far back there. Up into the heel, you can get up the inside, but again, it means you've got to get your elbows out and push and shove a little bit. I can't see Dan's opportunity and where it's going to be. He's close, but not close enough, you know.
Yeah, I don't reckon he's going to have the pace out the last corner either.
No.
I think Overtake is just going to hold this, just due to sheer pace.
Yeah, I think Overtaker's got this covered.
Well, here he comes. Race one.
Certainly does, and it's another win for Overtaker. Quick flash of the lights. He takes the first place. Dan really close. Got within half a second of him. That's a good run from Dan, considering the Audi goes off a little bit towards the end. Matt in third place on the podium. Looks reasonably happy. That was a happy flash, by the looks of it. Peaceful Explosion has dropped Richie by some 8 seconds now, so he was either pulling away or Richie's had a bit of a moment. But Peaceful, probably the best. Yeah, probably the best he could have hoped for, really, in fourth place. A good, solid fourth place for Peaceful Explosion. Richie, again, solid drive in the Mercedes.
Good result for the Frog.
Yeah, good result for the Frog, and his fellow Frog right behind him. So that's terrible when they call them frogs, isn't it? That sounds derogatory. Yeah. But they are the speedy frogs, so that's what they call themselves. So don't.
Yeah, we're not offending them. That is a name.
Yeah. So don't hate the player, hate the game.
Good result for Holty.
Good. Yeah. Solid result for Holty in 7th. Peaceful Smoky Devil. That's the one. He's going to come over the line in 8th. And probably disappointing for these three. Plava would have probably liked it a little bit more than that. Gary with about 19 pit stops, and still his car's smashed right up. Oh, drifting it round. Look, thinks he's Tokyo Drift.
He'll come out second race, completely different driver.
Yeah, you know what he's like.
Yeah, he always changes the Merc.
Yeah, one of the most natural drivers. I keep saying it, but he really can drive, can Gary. But circumstances usually get the better of him. And Little Leach with probably another race that he'll want to forget.
Well, he's probably happy only 11 drivers turned up, but not 16. So he's got better.
Yeah,
well, he would have done.
Yeah, because in a minute, you know, we're going to have to start talking about relegation. You know, promotion and relegation and all that again.
Yeah. Who's Fastio Lapio?
Fasti Lapio. 142.9 for Overtaker. I don't know if it gets any better than that. No. And for Caroline Argent, I'll also scroll down through as well so you can see all the results. So that is your race results. Overtaken from Unorthodox from Matt. That's your podium 3. We'll get them in the comms box in a minute and chat to them after the break. Peaceful Explosion.
Say, Kelly, that was a very, very quiet race.
It was very spaced out, that one.
Yeah, not a lot involved in that one.
No, not too much. Sometimes we have races like that. Sometimes we don't. So, good comeback drive from Dan. We will jump to the break right about now. If you want some homework to do, go and search Hello on YouTube. Tell me what you think when you come back. If you're really bored, Audio Sport, like and subscribe. We'll go to a break and we'll be back on the other side. Don't go far.
I'm not sure if we're clear yet, so just hang on a minute. Just wait for Matt to get in here. Here he is. I'll be clear, mate. Matthew. Hello.
Undertaker's in it.
Hi, mate. Again, just be careful what you say. I don't know if we're clear or not. Matt's probably got his mic on mute. Hello, Matthew.
I'm back.
We clear?
Sorry, I went. Yeah, we was clear. Yeah, I went to the toilet, so I made sure it was clear before I went.
Well, lads, thank you very much for making that an easy one for the stewards.
Yeah.
There's nothing for that race.
Your fucking teammate, Daniel, the bastard.
The bastard. What's the matter with him?
He had a spin coming over the bridge.
Yeah.
And then he started to go slow, and I thought he's going to let me around the outside, didn't he? What a gent. No, parks it on the apex, doesn't he? As I come right up behind him, thought, you cunt.
Overtake it. Did your tyres go at the end?
Yeah, I think.
Said
I
that,
don't know what
didn't I?
happened.
Headset disconnected mid-race.
I mean, 2 laps after I went out of the pitch, I don't know what happened. I just had no grip at all. It was like night and day.
I was catching you quickly towards the end.
Yeah.
Very
I was
quickly.
2 seconds,
What happened?
2 seconds slower lap.
Where have you pulled this pace from, by the way, Dan?
Right,
Mike
where's
wants to
this?
know more. Mike wants to know more than me, to be honest.
I thought he would. I'm sitting here just.
Mike, did anyone see?
He clipped the wall coming up the hill, so got 8 suspension damage, pitted, and then out the pits, a couple of laps, his tyres didn't feel right, span, they ballooned a little bit, and that's why he dropped off the back of me.
Right.
Basically, Matt, my old setup, I was running 2 and 7, yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously, the time I was losing all of my sectors to the rest of you guys was sector 1. I changed my downforce to 1 and 5.
Yeah, me and Gary's running low.
Yeah. Well, before, the Audi setup was high downforce for the tight twisty section,
Yeah.
and that's what it was working before, but as soon as I got rid of that wing, I was so fast in sector 1.
Back in a minute.
Uphill. We were gaining like 2 tenths on the toe.
Yeah, the first couple of
You
laps,
could just come together, could you? Could just have a tap with each other, could you? Hey?
I nearly fucking did.
Then I missed to find a tenth or 2.
I sat there on my stream and I said, I've got no pace. If these two come together, that would be lovely. Mike went, yeah, heavy damage so I can get a podium.
Well, I sat there, I was right behind him, and we went into turn 1, and I got a little bit closer than I thought, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta kind of go left a little bit and just avoid his rear wing. So I was a bit like, oh fuck.
Yeah, first
No bigs
lap,
tonight.
was
No,
right.
I've sent him invites. Fury's not in because he's feeling rough.
Yeah, I heard Kelly say that on stream, yeah.
Yeah, he's feeling shit, is his description.
And Plava, that's unfortunate. It's a good job you did 4-hour race round here to know what the track's like.
Right, I'm assuming we're good to go again.
I think Kelly, you back?
No, he's not back yet.
No.
Right, I'm gonna have a quick wee then.
Yeah, good pace, overtaker and down well done, boys.
I wasn't expecting you boys to be so spaced on that track.
I've just got nothing. The Merc's just got nothing around here.
No.
That's as good as I could have done all race, to be fair. I was settling for 4th behind Mike until he hit the wall.
There weren't any overtaking, like nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty stagnant, wasn't it?
Yeah, there weren't no racing, if you know what I mean, like side by side overtaking.
I thought that though last night, to be fair, even though you had 15 cars on the grid. I said
It's one of those tracks, isn't it?
Saw your move, Smith. Got your move. Yeah, like Dan said last night on stream, he says, "Oh, you sound a bit bored, Matt." It's like, yeah, mate, we've got through this race and nothing seems to have happened.
Yeah. I think it's one of those tracks that just doesn't produce anything, does it? You know?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
It's
Actually,
impossible
don't even bring on next week because I can't fucking stand next week neither.
Oh, I love it.
Keto.
Oh, I can't. I've never enjoyed Sakito.
You
I've
must
gone
have
well
won
there.
it in the Acora because I've got a set.
We didn't race there in the Acora, mate.
But again, it's one of those tracks. There isn't a lot of overtaking opportunities.
No, and then we go to Bathurst.
Love Bathurst. Love it.
Did I just say that, Kelly? Oh,
Love it.
did I just... Then we go to Le Mans.
No shithole.
Thrilled about that.
Well, if it was the full track, I wouldn't be bothered. But the Bugatti is awful.
It's a bike circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's always really,
bike
really
circuit.
slippery as well, isn't it?
ESPN top 6 can't qualify. Yeah, it's slippy. It's a bike track. Dan will go well because he's in an Audi. Jamie did, if you remember the other year.
Yeah.
I fucking
next-
hesitated like fuck on the lights, by the way. Dad kept saying, watch the
Oh,
lights.
I know, you got a shit
And
start.
I was like, I'm now fucking... I'm just like doubting myself at that point. I'm like, shit.
If Mike got a worse start, I'd have gone up your inside. Because Mike got a good start and was side by side with me, I had to bail from going up your inside.
We had that buffer, didn't we? Me and Overtaker had that enough of a buffer because the grid is so long.
Yeah, it's spaced out, right?
Yeah, so me and Overtaker got an equally not shit, but kind of just slow reactions. And we came together, and I was like, oh shit, let's go back that way.
Did you touch? Did you?
Yeah. Just give him a light brush.
Minor touch.
Yeah, you and Mike touch all the time, though, don't you?
It was a light brush.
Not normally. Mike's not normally this high up. It was strange for him to be there, so I didn't know what you were going to do.
When you go back to Mike, tell him I just changed downforce. That's all I did. Front.
He's running full downforce.
Yeah,
when you go back to him, when you go back to him, just say Dan said there's drivers and there's screwdrivers.
Yeah.
I'll just tell him I turned it up. As soon as I saw Overtaker do a 41, it gave me the fire in my belly to go faster.
Well, obviously, Overtaker part video in Discord, didn't he, the other day? I think you were doing 43s Overtake, and Mike literally getting to practice, and Mike went, right, let's see if he's got quicker this week. Bangs in a 41, Mike went, fuck.
Yeah, and then race pace, right? That's one pace.
There's got literally, Mike's was, oh fuck, there goes pole position.
Right, we good to go.
I think Smithy's just gone toilet.
That was my only lap into 41s I've made around here. So.
I finally got a 42 one, and I was like, ooh. Yeah. And on my last lap, I was 2/10 up, and I was like, I don't know, fucked it. I went wide. That's why I lifted, Matt.
You put me off when you lifted at the end.
Yeah, sorry. I knew you were there, and I just went off wide. I did lose time, but I knew you would put it in if I went faster. So I was like, I've lifted. He sat there. He's seen it. I've got to lift. So.
Oh right. So that's why you went wide. Because I commented on my stream. I went, that was track limits, and then I was too busy watching you slow down up the hill, and then I touched the inside curb, and I got a bit of a snap, and it went round, and I thought, oh.
I knew you saw me do that, and I was like, he's going to have my ass if I take pole here. So
because bearing in mind, I'd already span when you come past me. So I was
hoping you would go faster so I could get your fucking toe.
Well, when I saw it was you behind me, I thought, oh, yeah, I can take his slipstream. So back the tyres off because I just had a spin.
Yeah, I'm back.
Right,
yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Fuck, one more lap I would have had him.
Fuck, one more lap you'd have come together and had a race.
Shh.
One more lap, I would have seen some entertainment.
One more lap and Smithy would have had to looked at something.
Yeah.
Well, one more lap and we would have nodded off.
Gary got 2 aero damage because he tapped the wall, pitted, come straight out the pits, pinned it.
Yeah, he pinned twice, didn't he?
He stacked it. Oh, I heard you mention Christmas, by the way.
Don't forget Stroll.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Well, I've already heard you mention Christmas. It's fine.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of tonight's proceedings. And we are joined in the commentary box with the top 3. And in third place, the Lance Stroll of Simplay Motorsport. Matt, how are you?
Yeah, very good until that comment. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself, and it was fresh in my mind. I'm sure you're going to come back at me with the C-bomb.
100%.
Completely... don't know what to say now. So, Matt, tell me about your race.
Not really much to tell, to be honest, mate. It started, it ended. I passed peaceful in the pits. Job done.
It was a bit like that, wasn't it? We were just chatting off air that this track doesn't lend itself to any easy overtaking. So it's a case of strategy and tactics, I would have said, using the T word again. It's hard to make any comment, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the tactics, some of us did back off to get to Q2. Just my teammates stacked it to get a Q2 appearance. But yeah, it was just about jumping people in the pits. Dan and Overtaker was too far out in front for me to jump them, so it was about jumping Mike. I did that, and that was it. I was hoping that the jolly holidays of Christmas was going to come early at the end, where Dan was getting close to the Overtaker.
Boom!
But, that wasn't to come, was it?
Not for about 6 weeks now. So, yeah.
51 days, I do believe, something like that.
La. Sorry, I didn't know a word you said there. So, moving on into race 2, you're towards the back again with your old mate side by side. What are your thoughts? Track hard to overtake. What do you think you're going to do?
Well, I'm side by side with overtake, so hopefully jump him off the start and get in front, and then it's always nervy when you look behind you and you've got an Audi there based off of Oscherslav and you know, GT5s and any other race that me and Dan have made contact. Just thought I'd bring them up for you, Kelly.
Yeah. I no doubt you would.
But look, the Mercedes has got no pace tonight whatsoever, so get a good start, get off the line, touch wood, avoid the carnage if there is any, and just see where we end up tonight. I think it's damage limitations tonight. It's one of them tracks where pick up as many points as we can and move on to next week and get closer to Christmas once again.
I had another one. There we go. Boom. They're like London buses.
You called me Stroll. That was the biggest.
Yeah, I know. And it just, you know, hey, you know, you are the master chopper, so you know, you'll be able to carve up that turkey really well, won't you? Master chopping like
exactly.
you do.
Yeah, that's what you got to. You know what I mean? Pasties for starters, Ginster's pasties for starters, and turkey
boom,
for,
and they're all coming now. Moving along to your second place, man.
Thanks a lot. Well done to Dan and Overtaker.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, all very jolly in the comms box tonight, which we would like to hear.
Always jolly Christmas.
Yeah, innit? Yeah. We'll have no more of that C-bomb now. Second place, and he's left the party as quick as that. Look at that. He's obviously gone to do some Christmas shopping. And second place man, Dan, gave Overtaker a run towards the end there. Tell me about your race.
One more lap.
One more lap
is what I would have needed. Kind of a bit like Matt, but like exciting for the first like 2 or 3 laps, dull for the rest of it, and then exciting towards the end there. But going into this race, to be honest, the Audi felt horrible. I made a few tweaks and adjustments to the aero, and it seemed to be a lot better. So I was then able to be competitive. But again, as soon as you let Overtaker get at least a second, he's gone. So I think towards the end he struggled with tyres, so I hunted him down towards the end, but it just 1 lap short. Again, with last week at Dubai with Matt, and the same again here at Watkins. But I'll take second, considering I hate this track, detest it.
Absolutely, and we were getting that impression from comms last night. I
wasn't feeling too well on comms last night.
No, I know you weren't feeling great last night anyway. What was I going to say? Me and Smithy were trying to work out. You caught Overtaker really quickly towards the end, as you said, and you needed 1 more lap. Me and Smithy were trying to work out where you would do it as an overtake, and if you had that extra lap, where would you think you would have put the move on, if you were close enough?
I don't actually know.
No,
I seem to have the run up the hill, so possibly. Yeah. A do or dare dive into the chicane. Or possibly into the outer loop, which is outside the chicane, because I noticed that's where Overtaker was losing as much time. So I was going to look to possibly try and outfox him there, but really there was no real opportunity. Probably turn 1, but he was so strong in the final sector that I couldn't get the run. So it was like Murray Walker said, it's one thing catching, it's another.
Mate, I said that badly. Yeah. Badly said that in the comms. and it is that kind of track, isn't it? It's just like, where do you do it? Any move that you make round here is normally opportunist. Do you know what I mean? And usually a gap opens up and you have to take it. So as usual, you're at the back of the grid. Because you're the man who set up the lobby, so that always puts you at the back. What can you do from there on a track you can't overtake?
A lot of people seem to be struggling with just keeping car on track, so I'm just going to stay out of trouble, keep my nose clean, and try and work my way through the pack. Try not to jump the start like I did last week. But
tell me about it.
I'll just take my time. I mean, I feel like this track is all about just staying smooth and consistent and trying not to push too hard. So I'm just going to sit back, relax, and watch the carnage happen. But well done to Overtaker for the win. Nearly, Adji, mate. Nearly.
Yes, indeed. Good luck for the next race, Dan. And we move on to Yam, the Overtaker. How are you, Yam?
Yeah, great. It was intense last few laps, for sure.
Dan mentioned that he thought your tyres might be going off towards the end there. Was that the case?
Yeah, I really don't know what happened. It was great lap in quali. It was my best lap, actually. so I was quite pleased with pole position. I managed to get some average lap, but then also was quite cautious from the start, so we were side by side. I managed to take advantage of the inside line, and then he was pretty close for the first 2 or 3 laps. I was pulling him with my toe, and then he made, I think, few slight mistakes, and then he went out of my toe, and then I managed to do some more seconds into my race pace. Pit stops was excellent. I have to congratulate my pit crew. Then after I went out of the pits, then my tires just died, and I don't know what happened. This game is just like this. I know the other drivers can't do the same with these tires. They're just gone from one lap to another. So I was losing like 1 second a lap, and it was pretty intense by the end.
Yeah, I mean, me and Smithy were talking in the comms and saying that the Lamborghini has a little bit of a habit of when it gets lower on fuel, about being a bit of a handful when it gets lower on fuel. Do you find that with it?
Well, no, I don't really. I quite enjoyed the low fuel load, so I think I can push more in the corners. But as I said, the tire just went dead 2 laps after I went out of the pit. So then was pushing me hard, and the more I pushed, the less grip I had. So it was intense.
Absolutely. So race 2, you're you're ninth on the grid, back there with Matt and Dan. Again, what are your thoughts for the next race?
It's all about the pit strategy, right? The goal is to stay out of the trouble and jump as many people in the pits as I can. Yeah. And try to keep them behind me, because he looks scary with that low downforce. He's so fast on the straight, so he's going to push me for sure.
I think both Matt and Dan, really want to push you. Do you know what I mean? They both want to, they both like the racing. So look out for sure. Well, congratulations on the win, and best of luck for race 2.
Thanks. Congrats, Matt.
Well done, Sega.
All good. So, Smithy.
Gary Leach has come out of a 142.
Hello.
4.
Yeah.
I mean, where was he first race? Where is that?
Where was he? Where was he indeed? That's an absolutely fantastic question. Apparently he came out after his pit stop and crashed it again. That's why he had the second pit stop, so we understand. Talking to Matt off air.
Holt's in a great second place with a 143.
Yeah, that is a good... I mean, Holty's going quite well tonight, isn't he?
He did, yeah. He had a spin-off. Was it? Yeah, he had a spin-off on that corner, that heel. It shot him right back, didn't it? Because he was up there in 5th.
Yeah.
On the first lap. So hopefully he'll be able to hold it a bit better from 2nd. And Plava in 3rd, Little Leach in 4th, Smoke in 5th.
It's going to be interesting to see...
I think it's going to be a good race, this one, with the big boys at the back.
It might well be, and I was going to say it's going to be interesting. Gary Holty and Plava, if they've got a chance to get away and they don't make any silly mistakes, it could, there could be some good racing in this one. I do hope so. All good.
The last 4 peaceful overtaken Matt and they're going to be wanting to get up the front, and they've got to pass people, and we haven't seen anyone go past people yet, really.
No, you're exactly right. So Emplava calls it a day. He's done, and we're just waiting for the last couple to come across the line. But no, Smithy, you're absolutely right. They're going to want to make places, and they may have to do it on track. So this could be, by the nature of the grid, a more action race. Hopefully, we will see. That's for certain sure. Just jump into the chat. Tizano, am I saying that right? Haley Tizano. Clone me, maybe. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the chat. The rest of you guys, did you go and search for hello? Listen carefully. I should say this only once. If you didn't go and search it, why not? It's a classic. So we are just at the final edge. Let's see if Holty comes across the line and can improve on his 3rd place, see if he can get it into the 42s. And he doesn't. So who we got left on track? Gary's still left on track. Smoky Devil on track. I don't know where they are on track. There you go. Here's Smoky. So Smoky just coming round the last corner and across the line. Is he going to improve?
I don't. Little leaps, didn't he?
He goes up to third. Yeah, actually.
Good last lap.
Yeah, good lap for Smokey. Very good lap. So takes him up to third place. So Gary 131 on pole position with a 42.4. Emplava on the front row with him. You've got Holty and Little Leach just behind them, and then you've got Smoky Devil and JM Grill. Richie and Peaceful Explosion. Then you've got the Overtaker by side with Matt, and bringing up the rear on the back row is Dan Unorthodox 16. So that's how they line up. You're on with Gary. Let's just go. Just try third or fourth place. See if we get a. You just get a side view from there, don't you?
Yeah.
That's rubbish, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Prediction.
Prediction. Do you know what? I'd like to see Emplava do it.
I was going to say, if Emplava and Gary can keep it on track, I don't see why they won't finish where they are.
Yeah, I'm going to think Gary could win this one. I really do.
No.
No?
No. I reckon N.
Right, okay. Well, I'd be happy to see either of them on the top step, to be fair. But it'll probably be Overtaker.
I don't know. I don't know if his tyres are going to wear. He's going to have to push a bit harder.
Well, this is what we'll see, isn't it? This is what we're going to see, and this is what...
you can't rule any of the back four out, can you? Peaceful,
no, you can't.
Peaceful, I think, could get up there with his lap times.
Right, so we're all...
Gary and then can hold it.
Yep, we're all syncing up. We're ready to go. We're just waiting on the lights. Gary with a flash of the lights. Holty switching his on. Obviously getting dark. First red light, second red light, third red light, pause, and we go green. And away, who's got the quick start? Emplava with a bit of a wiggle there, but who's that? Little Leach coming up through Holty. He's trying to put moves on Holty and his brother as he comes together with Emplava. Emplava goes round. That's the end of that, and thank you for the commentator's curse, Smithy.
Little Leach did give him a nudge by the looks of it. That'll have to be looked at.
Yeah, absolutely. There might be the stewards might need to look at that one as they come up the hill.
Jumped right up there.
Yes, Dan's had an epic start. Yeah, epic start. He's probably got that absolutely right this time, and is already ahead of Matt, and Overtaker also into fourth, as you said. That is a nuts start, but he goes deep over the chicane. Has to straight line it a bit. Does he lose the place? No, he doesn't. That was a cracking start from Overtaker. A good one from Dan and a good one from Peaceful. Matt with not such a great start.
I wonder if Emplava caused a bit when Little Leach gave him a bit of a...
Yeah, maybe. Looks like Matt's carrying damage. Bonnet of that car's not looking good. How's it on your screen?
Yeah, he's got damage on mine. It looked like he's just fought somebody.
Yeah, Smoky Devil going slowly. He's dropped back from his great starting position. So it's the Leach brothers out in front. Holty's
this time.
not in the same team. And but Overtaker is on his way. Look, he's already onto the back of Holty. And where are the rest of them? Peaceful has now got Dan right behind him. They're both behind JM Grill. Oldest man on the grid. Did you know that?
Yeah, I raced him last season. Not that I'd like to admit that I got beat by a 71-year-old every week.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? And I thought I was the oldest man on the grid. And he trumped that by 20 years, So, yeah, and he's quicker than I am. It's hard going, isn't it? Oh, Peaceful has a move. Then JM gives him a bit of a nudge as he's slow, trying to pick up the corner. Dan trying to go round the outside of JM Grill, makes it stick.
We've got our first pit stop, which is Smokey. He's early.
Yeah, he's got to have damage, hasn't he? Yeah, look, front of them.
Stay to that.
Yeah, I'd scrap it, mate. Overtaker has done Holty. He's now up in third place. That's an interesting line he keeps taking across that across the grass there.
Gary's got a 3-second head lead on him though.
Yeah, now, once Gary gets in a groove, he's hard to beat. So let's hope that Gary's in this groove and see how things progress. So, Dan's now done JM Grill. Peaceful's done JM Grill. Dan will be wanting to clear Peaceful quite quickly. And where are they from? They're 6 seconds off the lead where Dan is. So Dan's 7 seconds off the lead. So, yeah, they're not too far behind. They haven't lost too much time in all the...
Could play a big part in this.
They are going to, mate, absolutely. And
Let's see if Little Leach holds... Oh, no, Overtaker's done him. Thank you very much. See you later.
Yep, up on the heel corner that we were talking about. Overtaker gets the inside line, gets the job done. That is job done. Holty's done a little bit wide in the background, and so that's it. Overtaker is now on for hunting Gary down.
Yeah, he's got 3 seconds. 3 seconds up. So unless Gary has a moment, I think Overtaker might chase. But then Overtaker's tyres last few laps. We know what they're like.
Well, yeah, you say that, but we're only on lap 3. And Overtaker's come, near enough, well, not quite the back of the grid, but certainly up to second very quickly. Dan from a similar position is only up to 6, and Matt is right back in 10th position. So Matt must be carrying damage of some description, I think. Yeah,
Matt must have a bit of front end damage. Looks like it's crushed up a bit on my screen. Yeah,
mine too. Yeah, front left seems to be. I mean, that's an ugly car to start with, but when it's smashed up, it's even uglier. It is disgusting. Oh, Matt.
151s he's pumping in. That ain't great, is it?
No, and
pit now. Pit window.
Yeah, pit is now open at the end of this lap. I'm sure he'll dive in. Almost straight line that chicane there. Couldn't make the car turn, so he's got problems. That's for certain sure. Dan is all over the back of Mike. They're both catching Holty and Little Leach at a rate of knots. Overtaker's bringing the gap down to Gary as well out front. But this is where the big action is at the moment. Dan catching on Peaceful catching on Holty. Oh, and that's Gary round. Oh, there's carnage. They're all involved. They hit the brakes. Dan's the only one that's got out of that without hitting anybody. He's through. Peaceful Explosion's in that.
This bloke's got through without hitting anybody.
Of course he got through.
Yeah. I said at the start if Gary can keep it on the track, but he obviously had a moment.
No, had a moment and took just about everybody else with him.
What corner was it? The hill. That hill.
Yeah, it was up the hill. On the hill corner.
Yeah, I said that hill.
He's
dropped right down.
Yeah, and that car's a mess. And he's been hit by everybody. Peaceful's decided to come in. He's got damage. Little Leach has got damage, and it's raining for him. Gary, look at him. It's like a scrapyard. Well, park them all up and weigh him in.
This man's come out unscathed, look.
Yep, unscathed. So, he's done well out of it. Holty's done well out of it because he's managed to stay. That car looks in good condition. Dan's now up into third. This could give Matt an opportunity to come back a little bit because there was absolute chaos.
He's still not pitted though, Matt. Mind you, Gary's in. He can't pit.
That's exactly right. If Gary's gone in, then
Gary will be in there. Wow, he's still in there. Jesus, he needs a whole new car.
Yeah, that's the end of that one. Another round to forget for Gary.
But that's not going to help Matt, because Matt could have done with pitting.
Yeah, we think so.
Nothing worse than your teammate spinning off, causing carnage.
Absolutely, there's nothing worse than your teammate being in your box. It's a nasty place to be. We'll see if Matt.
Look at the two frogs up 4th and 5th again.
Absolutely.
Quiet, but a good race.
Yeah, managed to stay out of trouble, and that's what all the top 3 guys said, wasn't it? Staying out of trouble. In that big crash, the only one Dan managed to stop it before he crashed into anybody, so that kind of helped him out. But
I'd
certainly,
like how Undertaker avoided it. I actually looked away when Gary crashed.
Well, when I saw it, Gary was already spinning and Overtaker was nowhere around. So, I don't know if Gary lost it all by himself, if there was an incident or what. We don't know. We'll try and get.
Undertaker was close enough to him, was he? At the time, he was 2 seconds behind him, wasn't he?
I think
Gary just hit the curb or.
I think Gary, probably dropped it all by himself. Such a shame. Such a shame.
But we said at the start, we said if they can hold on, without spinning, they were going to win. But
so Matt into the pits now. So we've had most of the people in the pits already. Overtaker hasn't been in yet. Dan hasn't been in.
Holty hasn't been in, I don't think.
Holty hasn't been in, and JM Grill hasn't been in. So the top four as they are haven't stopped at the moment, but there is a big gap from JM Grill back to Richie. There's
maybe 30 seconds.
Between the two, about 20, 23
seconds,
between the two.
Now coming out.
Yeah, Matt's out of the pits. I don't know if he had damage and he repaired it, whatever. I mean, Matt's car's still looking crumpled, as is Peaceful's, but they might have repaired the damage. So again, more crashes in Pro than Pro-Am this week? Maybe so.
One big one anyway, one big nice one.
Yeah, one big juicy one, that was for sure.
Dan's catching Holty.
Yeah, Dan's catching Holty. I think this probably will only be a matter of time. Holty's certainly getting better. And certainly beginning to find his feet in Pro. But he's got the 3 times GT3 champion all over him like a cheap suit. So it's loads of pressure for Holty to try and...
I struggle with people behind me that close, like I did last night, because I'm on pad. I'm very jittery.
Yeah, it's the pressure is, especially when you know someone is particularly a lot quicker than you are, and you're just trying to hold your lines and not make mistakes.
I think I had you behind me at one point. I think it was race 1. I just pulled out a bit wider and thought, hey, I'll let you go.
Yeah, you just keep on doing that every time I come up behind you, all right? I'm over the moon with that,
Like you say, if they're faster than you, you can try and race, but at the end of the day, you're just making it harder for them and yourself.
Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, Dan goes down the inside, gets the job done, I think. Yeah, he's got the job done. And I mean, Holty didn't... Yeah, he didn't fight that hard, did he? Do you know what I mean? He knows, with motor racing, you pick your battles. The more time you spend defending against someone who is going to be quicker... Oh, track limits there, Mike. The time you spend defending someone who is going to get you and is going to be quicker, you just end up losing time yourself. Pick your battles. That's the key, really.
These two had a nice little battle in race 1.
Overtaker is in on lap 6 to take his pit stop. Dan's still got his pit stop to do, so Dan with a lot of work to do if he's going to.
Dan could get enough gap between the two if he puts in the laps he was at the end of last race.
Yep. And again, we'll see how Overtaker's tyres do towards the end there. But Dan's, Holty in the pits. Dan's going to have to do quite a lot of work to catch up the deficit between him and Overtaker. Max Mulder's turned up in the chat. Good evening, Max. Was wanted to challenge you a bit harder last night, but as in the words of Charles Leclerc, I am stupid. So I couldn't, but nice to see you in the chat and welcome along. Always good to see fellow drivers in the chat. So we're at half distance, and I think we've had the best fun out of this race already.
We've got the two Mercs at the back. One's putting in a 2-minute lap time. One's putting in a 1:44.
Yeah, the two guys struggling, and that's going to be valuable points for the championship for those two. And I wonder if the tables were updated. They're normally very good. They're updating the tables. So what's Dan got? He's got 11 seconds ahead of... Oh, and that's Matt off again. Very, very wide. Very wide indeed.
Yeah, no. Overtaker's catching. Oh, Dan's catching, so...
Yeah.
He's coming up the traffic soon.
Who will be? Dan?
Yep, Dan's going to be catching up to Matt.
Right, yeah. So when does Dan pull the trigger? When does he go for his pit stop? I'm sure he's timing his timing his pit stop to make the glitch work as best he can. But when's that going to be? Peaceful having a look at Richie. They're fighting for 5th and 6th at the moment.
JM Grill yet to pit, or is he pitted? Because he's up into 3rd.
Who hasn't pitted? JM Grill. Yeah, JM Grill hasn't pitted yet. He's the only one now, is he? And Smokey's got to go again.
And Dan.
And Dan, yes. Oh, as we talk about Smokey, commentator's curse is real. Talk about someone, things happen. So
his last lap was a 2 minutes one.
He must have had a moment, mustn't he? Overtaker
154.
Yeah, that was his pit lap though, wasn't it?
Must have been, yeah, lap 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's really pumping any laps in. Dan's 143s.
He's the quickest man on track at the moment. But he's going to need to be.
He's gapping Overtaker. He's now up to 10.5 seconds. Like you say, when he pits, I'll be interested to see when he pits. He's now he's nearly 11.5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean the times will up and down depending where people are on track. You know, fast corners and long straights and stuff like that. Smokey in the pits again. That will be his pit stops done. But he's probably running damage again. Peaceful still trying to chase down Richie for that 5th position. So still JM Grill and Dan to pit.
Well, Dan's in the pits because Overtaker's
he's in the pits now. That's why his numbers are coming down quickly. Dan's not going to jump him, not going to jump Overtaker, but he needs a fast pit stop to try and catch back the deficit. Dan's on the move. He's on his way out. Overtaker is round the first corner. As I said, he was never going to jump Overtaker in the pits. He just didn't have enough time in hand. But JM Grill's the last man to pit.
We could, if the tyres start to wear again, it could be a close last few laps again if Dan can pump the lap times in.
Yep, so what we got, 7 laps to do. Let the timing screens sort themselves out, and Dan's got 12 seconds to catch. It's a big gap, isn't it? It's a big gap.
That is a big gap. Second a lap, though.
Yeah, more than that, isn't it? Needs nearly 2, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yep.
These two are the closest men on track, apart from Little Leach and M. Plava.
Yep, Little Leach and M. Plava fighting for 7th and 8th. They are 15 seconds off this battle. Peaceful Explosion with a great run now on the Merc.
Coming up the mat. He's now coming up the mat, Undertaker.
Yep.
Is Matt going to fight him? I expect so. Smokey, not
Smokey,
Matt,
yep, Smokey, he's coming up too.
Gary's back in the pits. No
rear wing. Gary having an absolute shocker tonight. I think he's shortened that car by about 6 inches, front and rear. Peaceful's got Richie.
Yep.
So he's got him somewhere. Oh, Richie goes very deep into that corner, runs right round the edge of it. His teammate, his teammate's got past him. That you can do that with that corner. Sorry.
Good points for the Frogs tonight. First race and second race.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, but I don't think Richie will have been happy that he run around the edge of that corner. Oh, as Mike
he's got a lot to do to catch 3rd place, Peaceful. Oh, I don't know. James Grill and Richie's both gone past him. He's flashed him.
Yeah, I tell you what, has he let him back through for some reason? What's that about? What was that about? Oh, that could have been handbags. Lap 9. We don't know the full story there, but that looked to me... I don't want to say that. I don't want to say it. But... Lap 9, those two get together.
That one down. Maybe they just want to give us still something to do.
That was Richie and Peaceful Explosion. Richie crashed into...
I tell you what, Holt could be taking a podium.
He could as well. It'd be nice to see him on the podium, wouldn't it?
He's got a massive gap to 4th.
He certainly has. And who's in 4th? JM Grill. And then now Peaceful's just been hit, so Peaceful's probably got damage. We'll see how his lap times kind of go along from there. Richie could well have damage as well. So Dan not making real inroads into Overtaker's gap, is he? Still 12 seconds.
Overtaker's now coming up to Gary though. I believe. Oh, Smokey's playing bangers with the wall.
To tell you what, pro guys tonight really, have been quite leery tonight, haven't they? There's been a lot of damage tonight from these pro guys. It's one of those nights where I wish I was still in pro. Mind you, saying that, I was rubbish in pro-am, but but do you know what I mean? Because they seem to be making silly mistakes tonight.
Yeah, well, like if you look at the lap time screens, they're not great apart from the front two. Do you know what I mean? Dan pumping in half a second quicker than Overtaker, but everyone else is 146s.
Peaceful.
147.
Well, we know Peaceful and Richie just had a coming together, so that explains them. And Plava on a 54, Matt on a 52, Gary on a 55. God, you and me, Smith, be on podium here.
Well, let's not exaggerate. I might be in the 7th.
We'd certainly be in the top 10. We'd definitely be in the top 20. Oh dear.
This track is a weird track. It's not produced anything, if you know what I mean. It's not.
Apart from crashes, but people's own crashes.
Yeah, nothing. Like, there's been no racing again. Do you know what I mean? There's been no.
Yeah.
It's dead. There's nothing to it. Horrible track.
Yeah, as I say, it's a funny one, and again we were talking off air. That was somebody. I don't know if that was Matt who was getting a bit sideways. We were talking off air. Next week we move to Sakito, which is basically Project Cars' version of Suzuka in Japan, and M-Plava's car's looking mashed, isn't it? So we move to Sakito next week, which, as I said, is a dulled down version of Suzuka, and that's another track where there's very little overtaking opportunities. Very little overtaking opportunities. In fact, all the overtaking opportunities from Suzuka have been taken out. So it's going to be really hard to overtake there. So we're going to have a bit of the same, Smithy, you know?
We are, yeah. And do you know what? I hate to say it, but we said at the beginning 50 points isn't a lot. But this man's just, if he takes a win, he's took them points straight back up.
He has, and after race one, he's now 62 points ahead of Matt, and Matt is now tied with Dan on 62 points. So Dan's dragged back to Matt, but Overtaker's pulled away again. It's now 62 points at this point. Not at the end of this race. So if Overtaker takes another win, he's going to extend his lead again. Dan will move in front of Matt if they finish as they are. But again, Overtaker pulls away. So, good start to the second half of the season again for him, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's he now catching? Who's Undertaker catching?
I don't know.
He's only got to keep it on track, and he's taken a podium. He's taken a third place podium.
Yep, and he's clear by quite some margin, isn't he? 13, 17, 18 seconds. Yeah, absolutely. So he's JM Grill not catching him quickly.
Right, we've got Gary getting caught by Undertaker.
Is that Dan? No, I think Overtaker's already in front of Gary, isn't he? I think that's Dan coming up behind Gary.
Oh, is it? Dan
I think so.
He must be coaching Matt then Undertaker.
Yeah, it must be. Yep. Matt, there he comes. He's in the background. That's going to upset Matt. As Dan comes up behind Smokey. And then Gary, Smokey, moves out of the way quite nicely. Stays out of the way. He's not in a battle with him. We run endurance rules, just in case you don't know. I tend to say it every week, but just in case you don't pay attention to a damn word that I say, we run endurance rules. So that means there's no blue flags. There's a keen marshal throwing a green one there. I don't know why he's doing that. It's been green all the way through the race. We don't have anything but green flags. We don't have any blue flags. So if you come up behind, as Matt has been very courteous to Overtaker and let him through. If you come up behind someone, you're not obliged not obliged to get out of the way from the faster car, the car that's lapping you. You can't fight them, so say, you know, but you don't have to jump out of the way. It's the lead car has right of way, as it were, with endurance rules, and that's the rules we play by. But again, like we were talking earlier, fight your battles. Do you know what I mean? Pick your battles. If there's a guy coming up fast to lap you, what is the point in getting in his way?
Well, you just think with Matt. I mean, Matt would, if it was second and third, he'd be fighting him all day long. But at this point, there's just no point. You know, overtakers. No. Matt's down in 9th, unfortunately. Overtakers lap them. Nothing you can do about it.
The only way that that it comes into play is, of course, if your teammate is the one in front and is holding them up, or maybe you've got friends who you're holding somebody up for. You know. It has been known. I've done it. You know, I held Gary out. Not Gary. I held up Andy a few times. In the pro, you know, just to help somebody else out. You know. So those tactics can be used, but you can't fight anybody. You can't, if you're being overtaken or being lapped, you can't fight them. You can just hold your line. So, but you know, some of us are good at holding our line. So, you know, yeah.
Well, 2 laps to go, and Dan hasn't really closed the gap.
No, and I think, barring any mistakes, this is the way it's going to be. To be fair, unfortunately, Watkins Glen hasn't been what I would call a successful round.
Well, unless your name's overtaken Dan, I suppose.
Yeah, but what I mean is for racing and for the show, you know, it's lucky that that you and me talking is enough to entertain people so well.
We've probably lost more viewers than we have anything else.
Well, that's not nice, is it? That's not nice. He switches his computer off and finds that yes, we have lost some people, and 16 watching, 14 likes. Come on, you two. PM Motorsport in the chat saying fake Suzuka. Yes, that you're right. It's Sakito. Obviously, when they built this game, Suzuka wouldn't give them the rights to the track layout. So that's probably why we've got Sakito. I can't think what other tracks there is. Oh, JM Grill goes round. That's going to give. That gives.
Yeah, 2 fourths apiece for this. Oh, and there's a wall. Careful, careful. Anyone nearby? Somebody's now coming.
Well, that's your teammate. Don't crash into your teammate.
They've had 2 strong races together.
Yeah, but that's the cardinal sin, is if you crash into your teammate. I've done it twice. No, actually, Sutty Apex did it to me at Kota. I was in 3rd place as well in pro Smithy, and he crashed into the back of me. Ruined my race, he did.
Is that Gary or is that Matt?
That's Gary, isn't it, with the yellow stripes?
Matt's red, isn't he?
Yeah, Matt's in the red, yellow is Gary.
I'd have thought Gary would have just moved out of the way.
Yeah. Don't know, maybe he feels it's not time yet. I don't know.
Or just fancies racing someone because he's not used to it, I suppose.
Yeah, could be. These two had a titanic battle. I can't remember what it is, season 3 or season 4. Both in the Porsches. Gary clips a wall. He's been struggling with that corner all night, isn't it? That's where he instigated the big crash just there. I
don't know what I'm surprised he just hasn't pulled a. You might do in a minute, let Dan through.
Yeah, he might have to in a minute. As I was saying, these two have had some titanic battles, championship battles in the past. I can't remember if it was season 3 or season 4, but it was certainly Silverstone was one of the ones to look back on. So again, if you're at a loose end, look back through the YouTube channel, and either season 3 or season 4 Pro GT3. Gary and Dan racing each other at Silverstone, one of the most exciting races. Me and Matt were commentating on it, and it was just, I mean, they were just so competitive, such clean, close racing. 2 absolute brilliant drivers, and they were at their best. So if you get an opportunity, look back on that.
Right, let's get back to our winner for the race 2. He must be.
Yeah, here he comes again. It's going to be a clean sweep again. Maximum points for the overtaker. He took pole position and the win and the fastest lap in race 1. We know he can't take the pole position because it doesn't work like that. He's going to take the race win, so all he needs for the full set is the fastest lap as well. Oh, sorry, all the Mercs are here now, look. I think Dan's getting picked on now.
Yeah, he's getting a sandwich.
Yeah, this is all good fun as long as nobody's race gets ruined. And Plava going really slowly into the last corner. He's had a terrible second race. That was thanks to you, Smithy. Overtaker takes the win. Another win on the board for the overtaker, extends his lead, and another Grand Slam, gets all the points and all the rest of it. Gary just stays in the way and right to the end. Dan goes past him right at the end. Dan's going to come across the line for a solid second place. Stayed out of trouble, got himself into second place.
Great result.
Great result for Holty. Look, he's going to come in third again. Stayed out of trouble. Is 20 seconds ahead of the fourth place man. So a damn good result for Holty, and it'd be great to see him on the podium. And he's loving it. Look, hey, podium in Pro. It's awesome. It's awesome. Only done it once. Yeah, good solid points. Another fourth place for Peaceful. It's going to jump him up the order a little bit, keep him away from that relegation zone. So he's going to come home for a solid fourth place. I'd love to know what went on with him and Richie. I'm sure we'll find out as the gossip tree goes on next week. And so Peaceful comes along a line in fourth, and Richie's going to be fifth place. He's going to take his teammate just about going to hold on from Little Leach to take sixth place. Little Leach in seventh, and Plava with a very, very smashed up Ferrari would take eighth. And where were we? And Plava, Gary in ninth, and Matt in 10th. So it's going to leave Smoky Devil in 11th place. So that is your results for Watkins Glen. We'll wait to get the top three into the party and we'll have a chat with them. We need to look at driver of the day as well. So in the chat there, if you've got any drivers of the day suggestions, let's have them now. Smithy, have a think about that one yourself.
Yep.
And we'll go from there. We've as I say, just waiting for the guys to come in to the party, and we will have a chat with the top three. Next week we move to Sakito. As said, it's going to be very, very similar. A track that's difficult to overtake, and we wait to see what happens. So I've seen Overtakers is joined the party, but I haven't seen Dan or Holty yet. Dan has joined the party. Dan, can you invite Holty in?
On it.
On it. Good man. Thank you very much.
He's invited, so he's on his way.
Okay, so we're just waiting for Holty to get in, and yeah. So one vote at the moment from PN Motorsport for Peaceful Explosion of driver of the day with his two fourth places. Solid job from him. We'll go round the room for that in a minute. We're just waiting, as I said, on Holty to join us in the comms box. Yeah,
I think he's
we
on
do
his
hope. We do hope so.
He's got his mic coming on and all that stuff, so hopefully he'll be here in a second.
Okay.
I'm going to have to agree with PN. I was going to say Peaceful.
Yeah, okay. Monkey Boy's gone for Peaceful as well. So that's two. And we've got Holty in the party with us now. Holty, welcome to the podium of Pro.
Yes, finally. I'm on the podium.
It's nice, isn't it? It's nice here.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your race. You managed to stay out of trouble because there was a bit of that going on. Good qualifying. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, qualifying was okay. I just I had to get a good start and just stay out of trouble. I made a little mistake. Little Leach overtook us, and then I think it was like second to last corner. I don't know what happened to Gary, and then I seen Little Leach. I think he hit him, and then I managed to get through the middle without any damage.
Yeah.
And also the overtaker, I wasn't going to fight Overtaker or unorthodox, just too fast. So I tried following him, and then I seen Overtaker pit, so I thought, well, I'll pit this time, and then just try and be consistent, really.
Absolutely, and quite. I mean, we called it in the comms that you kind of fight your battles, don't you, and pick your battles. To take on Dan and Overtaker, is quite a challenge to keep those two behind. So you went for the sensible option and rolled it home and took the podium. So I mentioned that you're starting to get the hang of Pro a little bit. Is that the case? You're feeling a little bit more confident in the Pro series?
Yeah, I'm just starting to sit behind them and follow their line, see where they're braking, and then coming out the corners. I tried staying behind unorthodox, but try keeping behind to start with, and I thought I'm just slowing myself down. Yeah. And it's in 4th place coming up, and 5th place. I thought I'll just let him go and see if I can stay behind him. But yeah, it's so much faster than Pro Am. That
was my next question, or the next thing I was going to say to you, that it's a learning curve, isn't it? You step up from Pro-Am to Pro, and Pro is just a different league completely, and so much faster. You've got to be on it all the time. You've just answered that, really, because it is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just all learning. So all the fast guys, there's no point in me putting too much of a fight with them. Let them go, try and stick with them,
and just learn. Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on your first podium and in Pro, and hopefully we'll see you there a lot more.
Hopefully, yeah. Thank you.
Well done.
Brilliant. Well done. We move into a bit of a carbon copy now. Second place this evening. Dan stayed out of trouble. And made it to the end in second place. Tell me a bit about that race, and tell me your perspective from the big accident that happened.
There was two. Starting last, I see Matt and Overtaker get a decent start. I'm just sitting behind, watching what happens, taking my time, getting through the pack, and next thing you know, I think it was Emplava or Smoky Dale, one of the two. I think it was Emplava, dropped it in turn 1. And Matt just ploughed straight into him, and there was cars all over the place, and I just had to bail to the runoff. So at that point, I'm already, I think it was 6 seconds off the back of the pack by that point. And then obviously everyone started getting into a flow, into a rhythm. I see Overtaker just picking them off one by one, and I'm like, come on, I've got to get in there. And then out of nowhere, Gary's dropped it in the exit of the third to last corner, and I think it's turn 9. He dropped it. And I think he just nailed the throttle or something, did a me, and just nailed the throttle. And my teammate Little Leach had nowhere to go. Bang, straight into him. And then obviously the whole team got so lucky and just went straight through, while the rest of us had to come to a complete and utter halt because the track was pretty much blocked. And then by that point, it was just, at that point, Overtaker had 12 seconds on me. But I got to give credit to the whole team. He put up a fair fight up in the first sector, and very respectful as well. And I want to give him a massive congratulations on his podium, because it's hard doing it in Pro, and when you finally get it, you then get into a rolling, starting into a rolling motion. But congratulations on the podium, man, and a good effort in trying to hold me up as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, quite right, absolutely right. I think that first incident, Dan, I think Little Leach gave Emplava a little bit of a tap on the rear, but don't quote me on that. But I think Emplava was tapped. Possibly. The second one, from our point of view, with Gary, was absolute carnage. You were the only one that seemed to hit the... Holty went through, of course. Yeah, it came to a complete stop. Yeah, absolutely. So you've jumped back up into second place in the championship, although Overtaker is pulling away again. We move to Sakito next week. Thoughts on that?
Might as well just throw it out of the bin, because that Lamborghini, I know for a fact, is an animal.
It's fast,
It's very quick there. It's very, very fast, and I doubt I'll see Overtaker. Tonight, I kind of knew tonight wasn't going to be the best of rounds anyway, but I'll take 2 seconds. I'm happy with that. We'll go to Sakito. It's going to be another bite the bullet. Hopefully, with the way the track layout is, try and not make any mistakes and overtake a wheel. So that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe rain as well. I need something to kind of get me back into this fight. But I know for a fact, I believe there's 3 or 4 tracks on the bounce that I feel I can bring it to him. Especially when we go down under, because I love Bathurst.
But I know you do.
He just nailed tonight. He just did the right thing. I nearly had him in race 1, but we were both going for most successful driver around Watkins at the end of that race, and he's got 2 wins here now. So congratulations to him on that one.
Absolutely. Well done on 2 second places tonight, Dan. And great effort. Good luck for next week.
Well done. Yeah, well done, Holty, and big up Holt. Well done, Overtaker, and big up Holty. What a drive, man. Well done.
Absolutely, and we move on to Yam again, the Overtaker. Mate, this is getting really quite regular, isn't it? A Grand Slam this evening, 2 wins, 2 fastest laps, 1 pole position. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it looks easy, right, but it was far from it. I think this was one of my best weekends here at Simplay.
Right.
I'm super happy with my performance. I haven't made one single mistake apart from those 2 laps at the end in the race 1 when my tires died. So the second race I got lucky at the start. I mean, there were cars left, right, and center. I managed to avoid them all. Just hoping that no one accelerates in front of me or do some strange movings. Then I was going for the slow end but safe overtakes. If Dan gave props to Holty, I should give him as well. So he was riding very consistently. He has potential for sure, at least around this track. I haven't seen much of his driving, but this time he was pretty consistent and very nice line. So he made a tiny slight mistakes into last corner, I believe. So I managed to get in front of him. Then Gary spun just in front of me. I managed to avoid him as well. Then I went to the pits and I saw the pack was like 12 seconds behind, so I was just driving for the win at the end.
Absolutely, and you've extended your championship lead, so a good night, and you're obviously pleased with it as well. We move to Sakito next week. Now, I've driven the Lamborghini at Sakito in a race, and I couldn't drive it like you drive it, but it is quick round Sakito. Are you a fan of the track? Are you expecting to go well?
Yeah, absolutely love the car and absolutely love the track, so...
Excellent.
I think Sakito is the best track on the calendar. So
I'm a big fan as well. Yeah.
I think it's quite similar to Watkins Glen in terms of overtaking spots, but it's completely different to drive on. So I look forward to it.
Yes, I think you're exactly right. I think it's going to be difficult to overtake there. Yes, another kind of flowing track. Jan, congratulations for tonight. Clean sweep again. And look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, same mate. Congratulations to everyone else.
Lovely, yes indeed. So, Smithy, what we got left to do? Let's do driver of the day, shall we? You've given yours to Peaceful, yeah?
Yep.
And just looking back on the chat, if there's anybody else that's put anything else in, but no, two good solid 4th places for Peaceful. So Peaceful takes your driver of the day. I'd like some honourable mentions to, of course, Overtaker for a clean sweep, Dan for doing his best to try and keep him in check, but Holty as well on the podium. I think all of those need a shout out, and the two French as well, 2 French guys with another solid night for those 2, and solid points for those guys. Overtaker is leading the championship. Dan is now back up into 2nd and ahead of Matt by 14 points. Jaeger Motorsport is still running in 1st place in the constructors, but Love Island Bombshells have cut the deficit down to just 8 points now. We move to Sakito next week. I'm looking forward to it. You can join Matt and Dan on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and see how me and Smithy get on, making a really rubbish job of trying to drive cars around the Japanese track. You join us again. Me and Smithy will be in your box next week for Pro at Sakito. Again, 8 p.m. Put a date in your diary, all the rest of it. Smithy, any last words from you this evening? Sum up how it's been for you.
One big crash, the rest of it a quiet night. Overtakers took all the points. Next week, I can't see next week changing much. If everyone's saying the Lambo's going to be quick, could he have another full sweep?
No.
Dan's saying no.
Yeah,
the only way you're going to find out, guys, is if you join us next week. As I said, Pro-Am on Wednesday, Pro on Thursday night. Join us live and catch all the action next week. Like and subscribe. Go to Audio Sport, like and subscribe that one and all the rest of it. From me and all the team here at Simplay, have a cracking weekend. And thank you and good night.
Ciao.
And you're clear. And your stream a minute, Dad, just to make sure.
Do I want to what?
End your stream just to make sure.
Yeah, I'll just hang on a sec. Yeah, I'll cast and then we know we're clear. Matt's not coming here, has he?